Ayman Khan here for Seconds Out in Manchester with Jack Massey. Jack, good to see you. Happy birthday for a few weeks back as well too.
Good to see you too.
Good to see you indeed. How's things going in terms of getting a fight date though? People want to see you back in the ring. What's the latest news with you?
Yeah, really good. We're hoping to get a fight date. We should be getting a fight date in the next week or so. So exciting stuff. So I'm looking forward to getting that and putting it out there and sharing it on socials and getting back out there, getting back into the ring and doing what I do.
It feels like maybe there's a slight bit of opportunity missed with seizing the momentum off the great performance against Joe Parker. Maybe that's not your fault. Maybe that's a bit more on Boxer's side there. But the opportunity there is now to push back and get him to those big nights again.
Yeah, it is what it is. We was out for a bit after that fight, but can't complain. We was out in this January, so got the ball rolling then. Got a nice stoppage, good knockout, and we're back. We should be back in the next sort of probably 6-7 weeks.
A lot of movement within the Cruiserweight division right now. With this fight that you want, what level do you want it to be at, and what level do you want to be at towards the end of the year?
I want a title. This next fight's got to be a title fight. It's got to put us into, some sort of position to fight for, a world title. I'm eyeing up the winner of Riakporhe and Billam-Smith, 100%. That's definitely 2 fights. What'd be perfect for me. So I'm eyeing the winner up of that. So it's got to be some sort of title that'll put us in position to fight one of those two.
You got a gentleman in the form of Lawrence OKOLIE with real Cruiserweight experience, much like yourself, who's joined the gym now. Has it been, learning with, trading punches with Lawrence as he's come through the doors?
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see him, under Joe. He's learning new things and Joe's, tweaking little things off, and it's good to train alongside him. We possibly could have fought back in the day. We were supposed to fight for a British title. I had to pull out of that, unfortunately, because of the ruptured bicep. And then we tried making another fight, but yeah, he's moved up to Bridgerweight now, and it's good. Like today, I'll be sparring him later today. It's good to do rounds with him. He's a good technician. He's long. He's awkward at times, and he can punch. So it's good for the both of us.
Did you spar him before?
Yeah, we sparred a couple of times. Yeah. So it's good rounds. He's hard to work out sometimes because he's so long. It's good, very good thinking spar.
Is that what you do in terms of sparring, Lawrence? You see from the spars in the past and the spars now how far you've come and how far you've been able to improve when you have that time with him.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, when you said you sparred him before, I thought you meant only here. So yeah, I've only sparred him a couple of times here. So I've never sparred him before he got to this gym. So yeah.
Paths never crossed?
No, not really, no. Because obviously he's always a future opponent, so it doesn't really work that way, future opponents, sparring. If you're sort of close to making fights happen, so he was always sort of on the radar. It sort of, like I said, the British title fell through, it could have happened again. He went on to bigger things, and we tried to make it happen again. Just after his split with Eddie Hearn, we was actually messaging each other on Instagram, trying to make a fight happen, but that didn't really work out. So yeah.
Did you guys discuss that when he joined the gym? Have you been through all that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I said, we've become foes to friends, and I said to him I think it was the first day he came. I said, oh, we almost made it happen, didn't we, mate? And he sort of had a laugh and that, and so yeah, it's we train together now and push each other.
You said you got your eyes on the target of the rematch between Chris Billam-Smith and Richard Riakporhe 2 over in Selhurst Park, isn't it? Which is quite interesting. With CBS's mentality of wanting to get those 1% edges and things, you would have thought maybe there might have been that real push to get it back in Bournemouth. Is that a small win in the column for Richard Riakporhe when it comes to the rematch?
I don't know. It depends what sort of character Billam-Smith's in. I don't think he's the sort of guy where it'd bother him. He's sort of laid back in a sense. If it was me, I wouldn't care. I'd rather fight in someone else's back garden. I'd rather have a place packed out with my opponent's fans. I'd love me for a load of fans there myself, but I kind of like that feeling of everyone's behind your opponent, and when you get the win, it's even better. But I don't think he's the sort of character where it'll bother him. But plus, it's still down south. It's not far from him, so he can take a big big crowd there anyway. So I don't think it's any sweat off him.
From your point of view, as you're looking to target one of the fighters, who would you like to win to set up the match that you'd want to be in?
Tough one, really. I'd like them both. Obviously, I've fought Riakporhe. I'd like to, it's a controversial decision. I'd like to, amend that sort of decision and get him beat again. But Billam-Smith, I mean, we fought in the amateurs. I beat him in the ABA finals, but that was a long time ago. We'd both come on leaps and bounds, and that was a good fight. And I think it'll be a great fight. It'll be an even better fight. I think our styles will just make a perfect fight for the fight fans. So I think Billam-Smith. It's a tough call. I'm really 50-50 with it. I think Billam-Smith's had he's been more active, but Riakporhe, he could probably punch a little bit harder than Billam-Smith. So it's a tough one to call.
With Lawrence's move to Bridgeweight, do you look at that as well and see that as a pathway for yourself? Once you've claimed the world title at Cruiserweight, do you want to go that path as well, or are you happy to stick at Cruiserweight for now?
Happy to stick at Cruiserweight for now, yeah. We'll see where we get with this, with the world titles things, and yeah, possibly. I'll always look to jump up in weight, back end of the career. So I'm happy where I'm at now, but we'll see later on. We'll see later on in the career. Maybe jump up to heavyweight.
Heavyweight as well?
Yeah, possibly.
Indeed. The other fight I want to get your thoughts on too is the rematch between Jack Massey and Breus. We had to wait a little bit extra time for that with the healing of the jaw and also the rescheduling of the big event. But when it comes down to it, who have you got winning that one?
I think Jack Massey. I don't think Breus is. I think he's a little bit done now. I think he knows that himself. I've been over there sparring him a few times, and he's getting to the back end of his career. He's carrying a few injuries. He's still a threat, but I think Jack Massey. He's young, he's hungry, he wants these big fights, and he wants to push on. So I think Jack Massey will get the better of that fight. Whether it was 5 years ago, possibly Breus win, but yeah, I'm going to say Jack Massey.
Now, I'd expect you to back yourself and say that you're the number one in the division, although you haven't had the chance to prove that yet. But outside of yourself, who would you count as the number two, or in this case, the number one in the division? Would you put Jai Opetaia, or would you put one of the British guys?
Yeah, probably Opetaia. He's looking good. He's stopping anyone what's in his way. So, I like to see him, tested again. Get the win over Breus and see who fights after that. Someone young and hungry like myself, and a bit more experience. Zorro and didn't really have that much experience in the bank, so in fights won at that level. But yeah, he's a good fighter, and it's definitely a fight I'd like in the future.
How big do you feel the gap is then between Opetaia and then everyone else? Do you feel that's a large gap? Because a lot of the boxing public, they feel that he's miles ahead of everyone else.
I don't think so. He's very technical. He's very skillful, but you've got to look. You can only fight who's in front of you, yeah. But you've got to look who you've beat so far. You've got Zorro and you've got Thompson, who's not really experienced. Devastating KOs on them too, but the experience is lacking. Breus, like I said, carrying a lot of injuries. He's on the way at back end of his career. So I'd like to see him, tested at, someone young and hungry and at world level. So I don't think he's millions and millions of miles away. I think myself, Riakporhe and Billam-Smith are just sort of, creeping up behind him.
Mm-hmm. With Lawrence's move to Bridgeweight, that brings the title fight with Rosansky. You feel he comes through that one as well under Joe?
I think so. It'll be, obviously it's out in Poland, so it'll be a little bit tougher. They're going to stop the holding. Joe's getting him out of that holding anyway. They're going to stop these little things, but I think he likes to rush a little bit. This guy. And I think that'll be perfect for Lawrence. I think he'll walk on to a big right hand, and I think he'll get a stoppage.
Can't take too much from that Babic win that he had.
No. Don't really rate Babic too much. You know, he's great for the casuals. He sells fights. He looks good. He's got the voice. He's got the big beard and all that. But I don't really rate him as a fighter that much. He's a good fighter. He's a good brawler, but yeah, don't rate him that much. But this guy, he's still dangerous. He hits hard, very hard. Comes at you, but I think he works for Lawrence very well.
Maybe a fight for you at heavyweight, you and Babic?
Yeah, I'd like that possibly.
A couple of final things for myself, and I'll let you go. Just talking about the heavyweight division, we have the big fight coming up, that in the form of Fury Usyk. I was at the press conference and I saw, for me, what looked like a very lean Tyson Fury. Do you feel a lean Fury, maybe using, look, with Sugar Hill, he's obviously going to be looking to get that knockout, but relying back on the boxing, which has got him there to the dance in the first place? Do you feel like we'll see a bit more of that in the fight?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's had a bit of a kick up the arse, especially after that Ngannou fight. You know, he would have been watching all the comments on social media, and you know, he's obviously Joshua's, you know, put him away. So it's made Tyson Fury look a little bit silly. I don't think he took the fight as seriously as he should have done. So I think it's given him a little bit of a kick up the arse. As you can see, he's looking, like I say, he's looking trim, he's looking good. So I think he'll. I can see him beat. I think he beats Usyk. If he's on it, it depends what Tyson Fury turns up, which I think he will turn up, and I think he beats him.
Jack, pleasure speaking to you. Like I said to you, happy birthday for a few weeks. Hopefully you get the present of a fight night as well coming up soon. Definitely. Thank you so much appreciate it.